considering it's CFO against J-Team.
Yeah. With Lalva on the Maokai that game, I believe.
Yeah. Gemini on the Maokai this game.
Yeah. Maybe finding the composition where they like to play this into.
He paired up a lot better with Jimmian in the previous series they had against Ground Zero, with specifically this mid-jungle. So we'll need more of that. The Maokai ult seems to pair really well, as Corki has gone for first strike.
Yeah, wow.
Very aggressive from Gory, being spam pinged our CFO. Not going to be allowing this Maokai to start on his Raptors, which he loves to do.
Yeah, you don't feel that bad starting your top side, starting Wolves, but he's just pathing down there now, and he will be safe to do so.
Yeah. Yeah, good wards from the side of CFO. From the side of Frank, sorry. Let them see CFO on their way out, and it means that Gemini can start his ideal pathing. So Carson's actually starting on blue buff, surprisingly.
Yeah, not something we see all that often, but just maybe wanting to head to the same side of the map that Gemini is. Obviously, we've seen Gemini get very aggressive early on both games now.
Yeah.
In the jungle.
Has guaranteed Cryo in the top lane because he has an R up there. Ian from Kaiwing, very aggressive. And yeah, I'm not sure why the camera is down here because this should be a very uneventful lane. Frank gonna hit 2 very soon. As they're going for a 3-wave crash, as you usually just see on the winning side. Not often you see Leona with Cryo level 1, but or not bringing a whole lot to the table. Neither is Senna, honestly. Jimmian on a much higher HP total this time around than previous, though. Yeah, though maybe not actually.
We have cursed him.
Yeah, as we see him scratching his head there.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the same threat.
Yeah.
Right, at this HP, while he is low, Corki not going to one-shot him from here.
Yeah, might even still win the all-in on this HP.
Yeah, it'll be close. I mean, he's pretty certain of it. Actually cancels out the Valkyrie. And,
nice dodge from Gory.
Gory's a bit of a beast there.
Yeah, Jimmian actually dodges the Corki Q with his Q3.
Yeah, cancels the Valkyrie as well. So, while the trade, fairly even, considering the health total Jimmian started with.
So much more sustain on the Yone.
Yeah, and the mana is the big problem, right? Is those trades cost Corki more than they cost the Yone.
Yeah, and what a start, honestly. I think Jimmian's just completely brought back his lane with that and forced Corki to TP in so early.
Yeah, and
has a tier at least.
He gets the tier, so yeah, it is fine for Gory, but Jimmian still won't really feel that threatened to leave lane. He pops his pod, he's now at half HP, and he'll pretty much remain between that and about a fifth of his HP, generally, is where Yone sits in this lane. And
yeah, gonna be feeling great, especially because Gory backed for no combat stats. And can maybe... Oh, should be fine.
Yeah. Casa trying to predict the snapback, but...
Now we'll see if he commits his TP back. Gory is trying to freeze. Yeah, so he does just have to TP. I'm not sure how many creeps he has there. As Gory, if it's only a couple of range creeps, you can maybe walk back to lane, but Jimmian does TP back in with a call. So even more sustain on him. I believe that item still gives life on hit.
Yes, 3. Not the most
adds up
significant amount, but yeah, I mean, it's that alongside just everything else, right? The Doran Shield, the Absorb Life, the Fleet.
Yeah, add it to the long list of sustain. Yone has to get through these lanes. The free's going to be broken, going to be a big crash for Gory, so he's going to try to get some damage onto Jimmian as this wave crashes. Carson not going to be around to help him out, though.
Yeah, Jimmian going to lose out on that cannon minion, but obviously would have lost a lot of health going for it. Gets the ward down to make sure he's safe from that top side. Castle, though, nowhere near where that ward is, so...
Kaiwing, on the other hand, is sprinting at the Snar.
Yeah, it does have both Sums, and going into Mega soon as driver, but good timing on that ward. He sniffs something, some treachery is afoot.
Yeah, very little opportunity cost for that because Waka was just recalled at the time, and Shun, I think, is doing a very impressive job of keeping up in CS in this lane. You expect the Senna lanes, with whatever melee champion they put alongside it, to fall behind a little bit.
Well, yeah. Finding advantage for themselves and even finding this dragon ahead of the spawn of those Void Grubs.
Yeah, and I think pretty much everyone overperforming in their losing lane matchups here, whether it's Jimmy and Jiang for the side of Frank, probably with a lot more CS than they should have, and the same deal bot lane as now Wako's going to maybe pull ahead, but I mean, Shun still has TP on the Ornn.
Yeah, I mean, pretty even. Once again, are these teams. Frank actually up in terms of that gold, but ultimately shouldn't matter all that much as the first dragon does go down. Kaiwing and Gemini down this bot side, though. They do see Sword Art up
Shun
in the top. And, yeah, Shun all alone. Now, he is an Ornn, not the easiest champion to dive by any stretch of the imagination, but Wako's actually level 6 to just a level 4 here of the Ornn. He's going to have to try and find an immaculate way of diving, and they do. I mean, Wako just picks up that first blood for himself, clean as can be. They're going to give over these Void Grubs, but I'll take that trade any day of the week. His teleport now coming through. It is Shun returning to his lane, but this could be a very bad play. He once again goes unstoppable. Who's tanking up the tower? I actually don't know. Gemini is, but he flashes away and he gets out.
Oh, look at all these minions, and his TP is down on Shun.
This is the second time we've seen Shun do this. Last time was on a Ziggs.
Yeah. Not able to get out there. Not even able, because so much CC is on the side of Frank, to use his flash. Has no opportunity to. Is just locked up the whole time. Would be wasting it. Not recognizing he's wasting his TP, though.
Yeah, and you see him staying relatively even in his bot side. Well, I'm here with news. He certainly isn't anymore.
Yeah. Such a good early game start for Shun, though. He did find himself down a lot of XP somehow.
Yeah, just 2 levels.
Maybe just because of how big that wave. That looked like 4 minion waves or something.
Yeah. And he loses out on all of it.
And all the time Sword Art spent mid just straight up laning with this Corki has not amounted to any advantage for Gory.
Yeah, Jimmy actually up in CS.
Yeah, miraculous. And what a bounce back from him. We talked about Gory's mental to bounce back in that previous game.
Wako almost has ult back up. They have to be so scared bot, I think. I think Wako just is just so strong. Way stronger than he should be. Although, Warden's Mail might just be the most broken component item in the entire game. Maybe Hexdrinker, actually.
Yeah, some of these pings are making me think Jimmy is going to stay mid. Yeah, he stays mid on a sliver of HP, and he's very lucky that Sword Art has not hung around, though he does have ulti on Senna. And I guess it's just an XP trade, because for a second there, Sword Art's 2 levels up on Leona. But you'd rather the XP on the Ornn. Usually you're seeing level 3 Sennas running around at this point in the game.
Okay. There's the exchange of emotes. I think that's the 3rd time I've seen them do that.
Yeah, I'd say advantage Sword Art.
Yeah, well, I mean, after the paycheck, yeah.
True, the TSM paycheck. Gemini is up here to gank Driver, but very close to Mega Gnar, rather. They have to go soon.
Oh, hold up. They're going to force out that flash. I mean, I didn't see the angle.
Yeah, me neither.
But they found it.
Yeah, well played.
And it costed essentially nothing. Like, yeah, the Maokai ult and the Cassante ult, but you'll take that. You can go regank this Gnar if you so choose so.
Yeah, and
not the biggest detriment, those cooldowns.
Yeah, Zhang already doing amazingly well in this lane, considering the counter pick, and is going to have a much easier time now that the flash has gone off this Gnar. Realistically has kill pressure just 1v1 off his next ulti. I think at this point, I think Kaiwing is maybe staying a little too long bot. I feel like Wako is going to be perfectly fine 1v2.
Yeah, probably just wants to get level 6.
Yeah, fair enough.
Obviously, they're going to want to contest either of these next 2 objectives, be it the Ocean Dragon or these Void Grubs, as they are spawning at the same time. I think CFO are probably just going to take the Void Grubs. In a position like this, it's good, I think, to take the Void Grubs, right? They already got their first dragon, they got their Void Grubs, and now they're spawning at the same time. Give over the first dragon to the side of Frank and get yourself the 6 Void Grubs, and you're in a winning position. Yeah,
especially when you're so much weaker bot lane. It is a nice luxury that you've picked up 1 dragon.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Yeah, this should just be left as a 1v1 as often as you can. Though, Karsa, I think, is being very cheeky here. If he can get a gank off and take out Wako somehow, Warren very good at setting up these ganks, they can suddenly pick up a 2nd dragon on CFO.
Yeah, but with Sword Art down here, I don't think Wako's looking to play all that aggressively, so...
Yeah, Kaiwing not coming to the bot lane either.
And, I mean, Zeri is just probably safe enough, even if it's a 3v1.
Yeah, cleanse as well. Just nothing to cleanse but the Lilia ulti, really.
Man, look how much better the Yone looks into an AD carry. I think they did just think the AD carry was coming through last game, but Nature's Grass coming out, and that's going to actually manage to land. The flash forward. This will be the Ornhorn coming through as well as the center ult, but absolutely one shot was Casa. Now the team fight coming through. Wako, though, he is going to be able to join this fight. Gory finds one for himself. There's a nice knock-up coming through for Shun, but somehow Kaiwing has once again landed everything he needs to. Wako comes skirting over that wall. Jimmy and waiting for Gory to flash towards him. He will flash after, and that's another kill. 4-1 is the kill score. Advantage for FAK.
Yeah, very scrappy fight there, but they eventually take down Gory as well, and it feels great to be Frank right now, especially if you're Wako. 2-0 on this Zeri. 100 CS. And just on the edge of this Maokai ult is Karsa. Tries to W out of it, doesn't get it off in time, and once he gets hit by one piece of CC, I'm surprised he even has the time to get his ulti off. Because he does, though, Gory is able to get a big trade kill here onto Gemini, and that Shun stun probably avoids disaster for Gory as he gets 2 flashes for his own. Yeah, well played here by Gory to draw these 2 flashes from the side of Frank, as well as pick up a kill for himself.
Yeah, Void Grubs, this will be 6 picked up here by CFO. We haven't seen them have all that much impact thus far in the series. Obviously, a champion like Nah can utilize it pretty well in that side lane, but it is going to be traded for the Dragon. Frank going to even up that Dragon score now.
Yeah, I think you're still feeling great. You do love to get these Void Grubs as the Gnar, especially if you're not giving up 2 dragons for them. So,
hold up.
Oh, okay. Maybe a contest.
Oh, no. Sword Art. He is in a rough position. He's able to dodge out of every bit of CC, though, but now he's just stuck with Wako. He does flash away. He's going to have to cleanse as well. Teleport coming through. This is Driver. He's got that Mega Gnar, but how can we kite? It's a nice Gnar roll. It lands onto 2. The flash away from Gemini, though, is Jimmy and trying to find his way out of this pit. He will have the Q3 available for himself soon, but Wako is just wailing away these health bars. He's kiting, dipping, diving, dodging absolutely everything, and the Nature's Grass will come back. They trade back 1 kill, but it's a double. Make that a triple now for Wako as he's got more left in the tank, and a quadra kill for Wako. Only 12 minutes into this game, and the Zeri takeover is real.
Meanwhile, Gemini is doing his Krugs, and Jiang is hitting the top lane tower. No need to show up to this fight. And I guess Sword Art just outplays it initially here, dodges everything, but holds onto his flash way too long here, underestimates Wako's damage and goes down to the Liandry's plus a sapling. Driver not able to stun up Wako here. Perfect positioning from the ADC of Frank this entire fight. Has 100% uptime in this fight while taking virtually no damage himself. Only unavoidable damage. Gemini chucks out an ulti and goes to his Krugs, as Wako's just able to very cleanly pick up these kills. Quadra kill on the Zeri does not bode well for CFO's chances this game.
That is the most animated I have ever seen Wako.
Yeah.
In my entire life, in my entire career here of
Jesus, it's
English.
It's such an early fight to do that much damage on a Zeri. My goodness. He didn't, I think he maybe had Static Shiv finished.
Yeah, I think he did. Oh my god, it's a 6-0. Zeri, feeling pretty good about yourself if you are Wako.
Okay.
Sleep comes through. We're looking for something aggressive here onto Kaiwing. It's going to be broken by that Snare of Sword Art, and we're still going aggressive. There is no flash here for Kaiwing on the Leona, but by God, have we committed a lot to this. Lightning Crash available for Wako. Nature's Grass very soon to be up, but it is just a nice pick found and a kill going over there to Gory.
Yeah, and the kill going on the Dream target if you're CFO. This Corki is the only champion on your side who could possibly match the Zeri later into the game. Long way to go still. If he's going to be putting out as much damage as Wako. Rift Herald now picked up for Frank, and Jimian is going to have a Dream in the side lane now, whether he's against the Gnar or the Corki. I think he'd rather the Corki probably, but we'll be fine into the Gnar as well.
Yeah, not going to be too impacted either way, I don't suspect, as see him just going forward at will. We'll get the recall. Probably has that Blade of the Ruin King finished up, although cancels the recall now. Does have to be somewhat careful. Casa not yet finishing his recall.
With the spells there. Driver, he has the CFO emotes. A lot of emote mind games going on.
Yeah, he was
to be underestimated.
The CFO mid laner last year, remember?
Yeah, a bit of a grudge match.
Oh, this is a Mega Gnar. Yeah, Mega Gnar coming through, but... And the teleport. Driver going now aggressively onto Kaiwing. Jimian gonna try and turn this around as Shun does come in there. Nature's Grass locks up 2 people. The tower's gone down. The 2-man Fate Sealed coming out here of Jimmy, and Wako's in. Wako is completely in there. Drives that Rift Seer into the wall. Maybe a misclick coming through, and Gory picks up a 900 gold. Shut down. The misclick coming through from Wako is going to be absolute disaster for him. But here goes Jiang. Jiang arrives. He gets it all out, and Casa has gone for a roller coaster of emotions as he finds the team fight win into an absolute joyride into that top lane tower.
Oh my god, Wako. I think he's misclicked onto the Rift Herald and just driven it straight to his death. Looks a bit frustrated, but yeah, I mean, it's a risky play to go for these. I cannot believe Kaiwing is walking up to right-click this tower as the Gnar goes Mega, gets heavily punished for it. So much CC on the side of CFO. The tower eventually goes down to the Rift Herald, but Wako misclicks into the Rift Herald, drives it straight into the enemy team, and gets one shot.
Yeah, pretty clear cut at that point.
Again, the kills just the shutdown 2 going to Gory on the Corki. Yeah, Wako kicking himself for that mistake.
Yeah, an otherwise flawless game thus far.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you can't be having mistakes like that when you've got a 600 gold shutdown sitting upon your head.
Yeah, and it goes to Gory, worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Still just mega fed on this series. Fed enough to probably just win the game anyway. But not a team you want to be giving these opportunities. You saw how well in Game 1 CFO were able to play from behind.
Roman gets snared up again. Shun, I mean, not taking all that much damage, but ultimately, this area doesn't do much until ult's popped.
Yeah, gonna be the Dragon picked up likely for Frank. Doesn't look like CFO are in any position to contest this.
How funny is this unsealed spellbook keystone, man? You just have an Ornn with a heal teleport.
Yeah. Always looks silly. And I think if you're Frank, you need to just completely slow this game down, get the LDR on your Zeri, and then just win every fight from there.
Yeah, I think it'll be shield bow. LDR feels a little bit troll on Zeri a lot of the time. Just, you do so much magic damage, you know. It's always rough, though, when you are just going up against mega armor.
Yeah, Frozen Heart into Sunfire. Oh, probably the Hollow Radiance, actually. For Shun, though, there's not a whole lot of magic damage on the enemy team.
Yeah, I mean, Yone, Zeri, and Maokai, they'll all be doing magic damage.
Yeah, and the item is just so good on these Senna pairings that you probably just go for it anyway.
It's like the only time that item's picked up.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes we see people build it top, but we never really agree with it when we do see it. So Jimmy is going to slow push this wave to deny Gory as much CS as possible. And frustrating for Jimmy, and he was in such good shape this game. Gory picks up a couple kills, couple shutdowns, and now he's mega spiked on this Corki, way ahead of curve as well.
Yeah, I mean, Frank's still comfortably ahead, but they do have to be very careful that Gory doesn't get too out of hand. 2 items, as you said, spiking, mega spiking even at this stage of the game.
Yeah, you don't have the easiest access onto this Corki this game. Gorky. Should I just start calling him Gorky?
No, that sounds like... I know it isn't, but it sounds like somewhat derogatory, you know?
Gorky.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Alright, we'll hold off on the Gorky then. I keep accidentally saying it.
Yeah, there are some tongue twisters. But it is okay. All is well. Yeah, as we have slowed down the pace of this game, and I think... again, Frank, they kind of can. They just need to play for this dragon, it feels like. Baron's spawning soon, and ultimately both teams, once again, we say this every game now, we'll do it pretty quickly. Obviously, Frank doing it a lot quicker than CFO will, but just by virtue of having this Lilia and the Corki, you're going to do it perfectly fine anyway.
Yep. Both teams can't really let their guard down for maybe 15 seconds or the Baron is gone. Jimmy taking a big chunk from Gory. Looking very strong, but up some XP is Jimmy. His reward for playing this lane extremely well through the early game.
2.5 minutes on this dragon. We have obviously a lot of pressure around this bot side, but probably no action really to come out, as there probably isn't really for a long time.
Yeah, honestly, Jiang, Frozen Heart on the Cassante is something we don't see that often.
Oh! All right.
Kaiwing misjudging, maybe trying to predict a Valkyrie from Gory.
Fair enough. It'll be back up in time for Dragon. If you get that kill, that blows open the game quite a bit. If you don't, just hold off on fighting.
And I didn't really think about it, but this is a nice draft for CFO in the sense that Corki doesn't love being in a side lane, and with this draft, he gets to stay in mid lane. You're not going to swap Warren to mid. So he never has to actually suffer in a side lane against this Yone.
That's true.
And Sword Art will suffer some sapling damage. Always looks much more impactful damage on a Senna than it actually is because of how much she heals.
Yeah, and just how easy it is to access that healing. Just Q a ward.
Yeah. It's going to be LDR from Wako. I agree. I like the LDR pickup.
It's probably going to be...
Mortal Reminder, maybe.
Reminder, yeah.
Always forget that that's a viable item now.
Yeah, it hasn't been for a long time. Finally finding a way for it to be a good item. And honestly, just in many cases, is the better of the two.
Shieldbow now picked up for Jimmian.
Oh my... Okay, have we not just Giga high rolled?
Whoa, Sword Art. There are 4 souls over here.
Tell you what, I know someone that would not let those go down, whether he died or not.
Yeah. And honorable. About to get Flame Horizoned is Shun. Avert your eyes. Not much he can really do in this game after how bot lane played out for him. Lest we forget, CFO are somehow in this game after their bot lane carry, essentially in the Ornn, died level 4 twice under his tower.
Man, imagine if CFO win this. I feel like the graphic of key matchup should just be the entire side of Frank and Shelly.
Yeah, just got 1v9 by the Rift Herald.
Hold on.
Nice
Talking
engage.
about 1v9 is Carson that's in that position now, and he has been completely eliminated from the fight. Wako seemingly hasn't used ult, but he is 1 HP, and he obviously has no way to return to this fight without looking for a recall, so...
Frank might have just picked off the enemy jungle and can't take the dragon. Should be able to defend their mid tower, you'd hope.
Yeah, teleport coming through now for Jiang, who does not have his ultimate available to himself. Neither does the Maokai or Kaiwing. But Zeri ult is still available, and possibly in the state this game is in, the most important ultimate to look at. So Frank are going to be able to get to that dragon eventually, thanks to the help of this Chemtech map and those honey fruit. And now are on Soul Point, I believe, for the Chemtech Soul.
Yeah, Frank probably have some words for Riot Games, as last game their opponents are stacking dragons and get a Cloud Soul. This game, they get the Hextech Soul.
Chemtech.
Oh yeah, sorry, that's a different dragon. They'd love the Hextech Soul.
Yeah, this dragon kind of sucks.
Yeah, agreed.
It has its niche, you know, like occasionally you live on low HP, but you can't really visualize the effect it has versus the other dragons, right?
Feels really good when you go for shield bows, because you just get more shielding at lower HP when your dragon soul is kicking in.
This is true.
And they will have 2 shield bows likely this game. Though I'd kind of prefer an IE from Wako, though it's debatable
or
whether
a Bloodthirster, I think.
Yeah, it's debatable whether he needs the damage from an IE or the utility from like a shield bow or a Bloodthirster. Maybe just gets him across the line anyway.
I think the Bloodthirster makes sense because of situations like we saw just before, right?
Yeah, that was scary. It was an Ornn ulti, 2 Corki rockets, and the Gnar Q completely took Wako out of the fight.
Now, vision control over this top side. Jiang, pretty much unkillable at this point of the game, is able to just walk alongside Kaiwing to ensure they're able to clear out those wards. There's not much really occurring mid, just playing ping pong with these minion waves as we come to expect in the mid stage of a League of Legends game these days. Yeah,
Wako again just finds himself on Zeri. Incredible last hitting, just so far ahead of the clock, and this game 7 kills to boot. And Driver not really able to get all that much done on the Gnar this game.
Yeah, Vam Scepter for Wako, so it will be the Bloodthirster.
Yeah, I think I agree with this.
Yeah, me too.
The IE feels good, and as an ADC player, you're always tempted by that item. There's another 3 souls just left to go to the abyss by Sword Art.
Yeah, only 66 at this stage of the game is appalling.
Yeah, I'm not sure where you want to be in terms of the clock, as Frank are just hitting the Baron.
Yeah, they are, and it's like, how do you contest this as CFO? There's a Maokai ult to come through to deny any walking into the pit. The saplings, look at the damage it does to Sword Art as he continues to burn away. Because of that, Leandri's vision will be granted to the side of CFO thanks to Sword Art's ult. Yeah, Castle with flash. But how's he getting into the pit? Here comes the call of the Forge God. Is able to knock up Wako, but Wako feeling completely fine at the moment as this Baron continues to go down. But Casa finds a fantastic sleep. He's putting everyone there on the side of Frank to bed. The Baron healing back up as Jung trying to deal with everyone, and Jimmy finds his way onto Sword Art, but Driver's waiting for him at the back, and Driver's found his way there, found the kill. Wako trying to do the damage on the top side of the fight as Casa, Sword Art, and Shun just continue to walk forward. It's a sleep from Casa that seals the deal in this fight as Jung and Gemini are going to have to fight for their lives here. All out available. He's going to find it on to Casa. A trade back of kills would be important, but not able to do it as Wako somehow kills out Shun.
Yeah, massive or an ulti from Shun there finds Wako, despite Wako using his dash in that team fight. And Karsa is still up for the side of CFO, so I can't imagine Kaiwing and Wako can actually stop this at all. Driver also going mega. Yeah, they can't get here in time. And I think it's a good Baron start by Frank, but the team fight completely misplayed.
Wako has to be careful. It is the Baron picked up for CFO, and they now are back ahead in this game. It's Wako against the world as fantastically played team fight out of Karsa.
A massive ulti from Shun here, followed up by Karsa, and it's just a complete overchase. Kasante can't just right-click on the enemy team and run at them like this, and Jung gets punished for it, so does Kaiwing. Jimian finds a decent flank, actually gets onto Gory, Sword Art, and the rest of the team, but just wasn't there in time to actually follow up his teammate CC. As the one bright spot for the side of Frank is that Wako got to keep his flash. Has no cleanse now, though.
Yeah, trying to trade back here. I'm not sure what happens to Shun, just caught out on the bottom side of the fight, I suppose. He tries to run away.
Tanks the tower for his team and then finds Wako here.
I mean, that's, pretty easy kill there for the Zeri.
Yep, did his job as the Ornn. My goodness, down so much farm, so few resources. Is now going to be upgrading his teammates' items, already upgraded his own. And should be this dragon going to CFO. We'll see if Frank decides to contest it or not.
Yeah, ults are available. No flash for Jung. No TP, flash for Jimian.
TP used by Jung into the mid lane, so
trying to get pressure.
Seems like they'll contest.
Have to watch out for the bowling ball. The three-man bowling ball is egregious. Yeah, here comes the call of the Forge God. Nature's Grass comes out, but we found our way into Driver. Wako just hitting onto this now, but he should be pretty safe. Wako trying to struggle to do damage. As Gemini going to be taken out. And Castle on the other side of the fight finds his way there. And the headshot from Sword Art from downtown. Going to get themselves another kill. Driver even taking down this jungler. And things are all falling apart here for the side of Frank Esports. The CFO claim the team fight win, and they'll be able to pick up the dragon.
Yeah, and it's another fight where Frank are forcing the issue without their solo laner in position to contribute. This time it's Jung, last time it was Jimian. And even just a couple seconds behind on the play is going to be punished by a team like CFO who are so decisive at going for these fights. Second dragon now for CFO.
Yep, second dragon. They're going to stop that stacking, of course, coming through from Frank Esports. And I mean, Wako just not able to find the damage in these fights. He is going to pick up now a Mercurial Scimitar to have access to cleanse once again. Going to make the fights a little bit easier for himself, but still, I mean, Karsa and Shun as well, pulling the trigger at the correct time on the correct member.
Yeah, while Jung is just trying to get to the fight from mid lane. Wako had to go for a QSS, felt like he would need it fighting that dragon without his cleanse. Doesn't get a chance to use it and is kind of just forced to go for the Merc Sim. You've got a Vamp Scepter and a QSS, so it just makes sense to finish that item. Because they are putting every resource they can onto this Zeri. Need to get him level 16.
All the upgraded Aldiar.
Yeah, Gory looking monstrous this game.
Yeah, 7-2. Arguably just the strongest champion here on the Rift. Sits at 4 items, working his way towards his Infinity Edge here.
Yeah, as a result of honestly just unforced errors from the side of Frank. Long before they threw at Baron, they made that throw in the top lane. And I don't just mean the Rift Herald popped in by Wako. I mean, going for the play in the first place. Over-aggressive from Frank, punished by CFO. We'll see if Frank can get their way back into this game. Still just have a 4 items Zeri.
Yeah, and
Never
Nature's
feels
Grass
bad.
coming out, trying to delay any attempts here onto this inner tower. Is Shun going to be locked up? Call the Forge God coming through. Jiang, he will have that Pathmaker, can get out of that CC, but he brings a root onto Kaiwing, onto his Leon, who doesn't have ult. Knocked up now is Jiang. He has to flash away. Wako trying to find the damage. Lightning Crash comes down, but it's Gory who goes godlike, and CFO, they're able to just continue running forward. Gemini to get their shielding through from Yi Jiang, and he's trying to stay alive, but Driver now on the flank. Driver may be able to find something. It looks like Frank will be able to limp away with 3 members still alive, but Gemini and Kaiwing have gone down, and how are they going to defend?
Yeah, again, it's Frank who forced the issue, but end up losing the fight. They cannot find a clean engage to save their lives against the side of CFO. Constantly kited out. This time it's the Zhonya's that thwarts their plan.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, as expected, this Corki is only going to get scarier once he finishes this IE. We don't usually get to see Corkis make it this far into a game.
Yeah, 32 minutes now. CFO and Frank Esports, they are inseparable in terms of the levels, but in terms of gold, they aren't. CFO 7k up despite the disadvantage they had this entire early game, and Gory has just recalled and finished his 5th and final item. The Infinity Edge is now available, and Exodia is now roaming the map.
Yeah, and when you consider that the Ornn upgrade is worth about half an item as well, he is so far ahead of this Yone. Yone does provide a bit of utility in these fights, and will certainly still be a threat, especially onto Sword Art in the backline, but I'm starting to think Gory can probably just face tank him.
Yeah, that's rough, right? Because Jimmy didn't even necessarily misplay this game. It was just...
Yeah, he played it incredibly well this game.
Yeah, it's just Gory was picking up the kills in the team fight the whole time. Got that 1,000 almost gold shutdown onto Wako on the top side after, again, as you said, a very unforced issue.
Yeah, just didn't have to go for that play. Had the option to just scale and stack up dragons, but went for the top tier one and got punished for it. CFO maybe just too good to make those kind of mistakes, yeah. Wako's still doing plenty of damage, needs his IE online if he's going to come close to matching the Skorky in terms of damage.
Baron now 10 seconds away from spawning. It's CFO with all the control in the world over that top side river. How will Frank try and get through? It's so much easier to be set up on the objective as the Maokai in comparison to walking into the objective.
Yeah, you can maybe push ulti and force them off the objective, but then they can re-engage while your ulti is down. Kaiwing loses half his HP, so does Wako.
Yeah, the sleep can come through. That's going to be QSS, Pathmaker as well in the Nature's Draft to make sure there is no more forward movement. Now, that is a big cooldown expended from Casa. Wako still has cleanse available to himself, but Gemini just getting chunked out, and this Corki is raining hellfire down on the side of Frank Esports. And with the priority they have now, just marching down this mid wave, is Jimmy and having to answer the bot side with Driver's consistent split push.
Yeah, Wako runs top, and who is here to wave clear? He's gonna run back here as fast as he can, and I think he's in time to clear the wave. CFO not gonna force the issue. As they are, it looks like they're worried about a
every
TP from
rapid
Jimmy.
fire auto attack is just absurdly strong.
Yeah. Jun positioned so aggressively too. As I think you just give this dragon if you're the side of Frank. You try get IE up and running on the Zeri. And at this point, it's Frank who find themselves having to outplay in these coming fights.
Dragon now started. As you said, Frank, they can just opt to give this one up, but they're walking down here. Ultimate not available here for Gemini. He still does not have that Nature's Grass. Kaiwing, Solar Flare has come back up for him as here comes the call of the Forge God. Shun perfectly positioned, but misses Wako. Wako able to dodge out there of that ultimate. Solar Flare, though, does go wide as Driver just able to walk on out of that. Jiang now getting fired upon by Gory, but is able to as well escape from any of that oncoming damage. Now, call the Forge God down. It means Frank are trying to walk into this topside river, try and get some, honestly, priority back for themselves, get vision, and they are just hitting it. No ultimate available for Ornn. Maokai now, the Nature's Grasp available, can come down. When will they use it? Climbing on a flank, he finds Sword Art, but how important is that? It doesn't seem all that important, but they found Gory! And talk about shutdowns! That's the shutdown that you would dream of! As this massive Corki is taken down, and the massive Zeri is going untouched! Sword Art and Driver have so much to do and so little to do it with as the cleanse comes through. Enough space has been made though, and Frank cannot keep going forward. Big Gory, all it takes is one mistake and one capitalization, and Kaiwing was there.
Yeah, it was Jimmy and Kaiwing finding their way onto Gory. I think it was just straight up a Leona Q from Kaiwing that somehow finds this Corki. Gory not even a chance to flash in that fight, and that was exactly what you needed on the side of Frank. Borderline a miracle, but they get it done. You see how much CFO are relying on Shun for these team fights with his Ornn ultimate.
Yeah, they didn't seem like they had any play whatsoever, right? But
Gory,
just watch.
Q3, it has no Valkyrie here. The E, it's actually the Leona E from Kaiwing. Not the easiest spell to land against players of this caliber. Wako, without the damage from this Corki as a threat onto him, and Driver and Mini means it's just the freest fight you could have as Zeri. Now he gets to his IE on this area and does use his flash there and his cleanse.
Oh,
yeah,
stress.
frustration.
Stress.
Yeah, you had to feel like the boys had done it if you're the CFO coach.
But now that lead comes back bit by bit. Kasa doing an immense amount of damage there, despite being focused down by Yi Jiang. But it was that lacking damage in that mid lane. Now, Jimian didn't do all that much, but importantly, he was there to follow up.
It was done to Gory is the important thing.
Every bit of damage pretty much that you saw that Yone have was on to Gory. It was on the follow-up. Kaiwing somehow, again, just finds his way onto a flank. Those Mega Blast Cones blast them in. Zenith Blade and Q, and Gory caught lacking. Flash was available. Flash still available. Nature's Grass coming through. It's Frank finally maybe.
Gory has to flash.
Yeah, Gory going to flash away from it. I'm not sure that he actually needed to, and Shun not able to reactivate as he was just stunned up there by that Nature's Grass. Now Driver being looked at. Kaiwing also being looked at though. What is going on? There's two fights on two different fronts. It seems like Jimian's made his way out, but he's going to get slipped. He's going to use that Fate Sealed very, very defensively. We found our way to Gory. Gory once again. Lightning Crash from Marco is one shot. That Corki down. It's a single. It's a double. Could it be the tres? It is. No, Jimian. Actually, Jiang, the one that takes it away, is Driver and Sword Art running for their lives against this 5-man army that is Frank Esports. Gory, back-to-back team fights, mispositioning. It's the mid lane that keeps on mattering, and it's Wako that keeps on dealing the damage to give Frank the 2-1 edge, in the series. All that matters now is this Nexus. Driver might go down. Nexus Tower 1 certainly does. Nexus Tower 2 sure to, and the Nexus thereon after.
Yeah, and Frank needed Gemini and Kaiwing to step up if they had any hopes of dealing with this Corki, and step up they do. Those were two back-to-back fights where the first one, it's Kaiwing finding Gory, and in the second, somehow we're landing a Maokai W without our flash onto this Corki.
Narnia.
Yeah, I have no idea how Gemini's managed to do that, but massive rebound by Frank now, and they take the third game.
Yeah, and I want to see that last fight again, because even the Maokai, from the moment the Maokai ult's pushed, that was sent from basically Twisted Tree Line. That came so far, and somehow, some reason, Gory flashes it. I didn't see exactly what happened. He flashes away, and then he just face checks into a bush he doesn't have vision in, and all Gemini does is press W, locks down that Corki. Waku comes sprinting in, and just the lightning crash with an auto attack, and that's Gory taken out, and that's